Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the GT4, which is brought to you by Rockstar Game. Oh, that's GTA 4. My bad. We are nose deep in Brandon's hatchway. I saw that on a sign earlier. And I am very attractive, and with me, as always, is the inventor of the wooden plastic spoon, Michael Megas.
I mean, the wooden plastic spoon is great. It has the durability of a wooden spoon, but without the absorption of the wooden spoon. So there you go.
Or is it the wooden version? Is it the biodegradable wooden version of the plastic spoon?
That also would work.
You, as the inventor, should know this already.
Indeed. Hey! I'm the inventor, not the marketer. We are at Brands Hatch for the third consecutive race. Actually, Jesus. We just did a double header in the July Saturday Super Series here, and
I'm just thinking
we're
that
back again.
a lot of these dudes seem to be a fan of this Brandon guy, and his hatchway must be something else. That's all I gotta know.
It's amazing. We're here for the opening round of the GT4 British series, which means we're going to be doing a lot of British tracks and one non-British track for some reason. I don't know why Zolder's on the calendar, but
Which is in Reykjavik.
At some point we're going across the English Channel to Belgium. Anyways, I don't know the first name of the pole sitter, but it's Bartosiak on pole. Jeff Wentworth, Max Simmons, Matt Higgs, Mika Wesley Stokes, Neil Sutherland, I do believe. Paul Riccobeni, Mark Sutherland. I don't know which one's the father, which one's the son. I think Mark's the father, Neil's the son. I could be wrong. William Murrah, Freddie Avila, Jake Keckley, John Archie, Tony Yimbo, Jamie Bayliss, Cole McRae, Ayrton Tobin, Trevor Cheney, Cliff Hemian, Diego Alonso, OTAN, I don't know what the O stands for, Skylar Castor, and Tom Laws. That is your grid for today's action. Or
Is
possibly
this about Wotan?
there might be more, because technically the little thing on the screen only goes down to 23rd place at all times. Like it only shows 23 cars. So there might be people behind Tom Laws, and we just don't know who they are.
What's this about Wotan? The all-seeing, the all-knowing?
OTAN, not Wotan.
Oh. I don't know. Don't have another. Maybe it's that Otani guy.
We might find out. So we got two first names that are a mystery to me, and we'll see. Interesting to see a Maserati on pole. That car has no traction control and no ABS. It's the car you would enjoy, Byron, because it's the one you get the instant excuse whenever you wreck someone. Oh no, I just lost control of the car.
Well, that's me with every car.
Yeah, but this one's like the believable one. This is the one like, no, it's the car's fault. It's not my fault. We've got, so these are GT4 cars. They're GT3s down a peg. These are cars that you would actually theoretically have seen on the street at some point in your life, particularly the BMW M4. It's fairly common. There's actually a Maserati Gran Turismo, which is the Maserati in GT4, somewhere in my neighborhood, or it comes to my neighborhood a lot, so maybe it's a rich dude with a poor girlfriend. I don't know. Or the other way around.
It's Elise.
Yeah. Could be Elise. We got, let's see here, in terms of new brands that you haven't really seen a lot of before. I mean, we've done GT4s before, but like brands that are not in GT3 but are in GT4, we got Ginetta, we got the Chevrolet Camaro, and we have the Alpine A1110, I think. Can't remember. We'll just call it the Alpine. We have one of those, it looks like, driven by Tom Laws. That's the blue A symbol down at the bottom there. The Ginettas are the orange circle with the black lines through it. And the Camaro is a Chevy symbol. I don't know what to tell you if you don't know what Chevy symbol looks like.
They all look like the same car to me.
I know, we've been through this.
One of them's got a bigger grill on the front, the other one doesn't.
I'm surprised that all the cars look the same to you.
I mean, relatively.
In the sense that I at least thought like mid-engine versus front engine would look different to you.
Well, I got bad news for you. I can't see the engine.
But it affects the shape of the car, is what I'm getting at.
I don't really believe that, neither do you.
It does. I mean, I can tell all these cars apart, so.
Yeah, there's a Dodge Viper up front.
Actually, does look like a
Viper. That it's got a smooth face on it, though.
The Maserati does actually look a lot like a Viper. I'll give you that one.
We got, okay, so there's one that looks like a regular ass sedan that you'd see, but they splashed weird colors on it and a spoiler. And then, I don't know, they all look like generically the same lozenge shape. Unless you've got a Porsche, which is a little bit longer and has a little bit of a googly eye, but really not real like a Porsche would.
Here we go on the way to Paddock Hill Bend for the first time today. A highly difficult turn here. And one of the BMWs going sideways. Didn't catch which one that is. I'm sorry. I don't overly know the liveries. I hope to pick them up in time. Looks like we get the Academy Motorsports car with Mika What. I like that livery, actually. You don't see a lot of orange, like, highlighted cars, so it stands out. Oh, somebody's off. We're waiting for an update on the standings here.
It was
Jeff Wentworth and Max Simmons are in the lead, so something must have happened between Higgs and the Maserati. Spoiler, I know that it did, because I was asked for my thoughts on the incident. Mika Watt in third, Wesley Stokes in fourth, Paul Riccobeni in the Audi up to fifth place. He's using my livery from last season. Then we have Neil Sutherland, Tony Yimbo, Matt Higgs, Jake Keckley, and Cole McRae, your top 10. Excellent starts for Yimbo and McRae up until the top 10. As we take a look at Jake Keckley in the Camaro. I like that car, but there's only one livery for it. Oh, Maserati in the background going off. That would be Bartosiak. Keckley looking to make a move on the Porsche of Matt Higgs. So, interesting to see Yimbo putting pressure on Higgs. Higgs, of course, Keckley putting pressure on. Either way, still surprising. Higgs is normally the class of the field. He's dominating 3D speed at the moment and should be punching his ticket to the title in about 6 days when we go for the Silverstone event. Oh, one of the Janettas is sideways. Cole McRae into the wall. Freddie Avila looked like he might have been involved in that. Looked like Freddie Avila might have been the Shawn Michaels on that one. Or at least that is Avila's livery. If he has a teammate. Oh no! Avila into the side of Matt Higgs, I think. Yeah. Higgs getting abused.
Put him in the wall.
And it's a rough time to be Freddie Avila, who's been in the center of a lot of what's going on right now. There are at least 24 cars. So there was one car we didn't know the name of before, which I believe was David Brock, who was up to 21st place. Not a lot of bronze drivers in this series. Only 5 by the looks of it. Side-by-side action between. That was, I believe, a Maserati, and I am going to guess Jamie Bayliss. I see the McLaren logo beside Bayliss' name. I saw McLaren and a Maserati going side by side. I assume that was Bayliss. I promise I will pick up on the liveries as we go on here. I will put names to each car.
You think Bayliss is going to get a little baleful?
Could be. Somebody spit up some dust there. Looked like somebody was off.
That'd be me.
That is a McLaren. And I believe that is actually Jamie Bayliss. That is the Tolman livery in McLaren, if I recall correctly. I don't know if that's related to the former F1 team, Tolman, which of course became Benetton and then Renault, and it's now the Alpine team. A little bit of contact there between McRae and Bayliss over 18th place. Interesting to see Cole McRae going from one of the fastest in a straight line cars in the field, the McLaren, last season to a Ginetta. It's a very radical change. Somebody destroying a braking marker there. Or I think that's just a sponsorship sign. Because that's not a braking sign.
There are no rape on this brake train. No, wait.
I think you have that wrong. So Mika Watt defending third place here against Wesley Stokes. That is Aston Martin versus McLaren with Paul Riccobeni in the Audi in behind. That Audi, not a very strong car, but I'm interested to see what Paul Riccobeni can do in it, because Paul is an excellent driver. Mika Watt currently leading the silver hunt right now. Tony Yimbo's up to 6th place. Yimbo having a really good day in the Aston Martin. Although it looks like he's been relegated behind Matt Higgs, and we're just awaiting the update on that. There it is. Higgs to 6th. Yimbo down to 7th. Keckley and the two Sutherlands rounding off the top 10. William Murrah, John Archie, Ayrton Tobin, Otan, Bartosiak, or Bartosak, I don't know. Trevor Cheney, Cliff Hemian, Bayless, McRae, Castor, Alonso Avila, and Waz. Looks like David Brock has slipped to the back. So we focus in on Paulinho Riccobeni as Wesley Stokes kicks up a bit of styrofoam that's broken off of one of the boards at the side of the road.
Bring him up, son.
As they head into Hawthorns and then into Dingledell and Sheen Curve.
Does it dangle deeply in Dingledell?
I imagine it does. This is Sheen we're coming up to here. Very difficult turner, very blind, because you have to commit to your turn-in point without actually being able to see the turn, which does make it definitely very interesting. One of the Aston Martin, or one of the McLaren's getting very wide there. Pardon me. It's Wesley Stokes, and that gives Paul Riccobeni a run on him. But I think Stokes will out-drag the Audi, because the Audi a little bit lacking in top end, and the McLaren 570 is one of the faster in a straight line cars, although Riccobeni is going for it. Hey, can we get a better camera view here, camera guy?
Nope.
And they are side by side through Paddock Hill Bend. Very dangerous. And it looks like Matt Higgs is actually trying to make this a 3 wide. I don't know about that, Matt. I would just let them scrap and pick up the scraps. He will end up getting Wesley Stokes.
Penalty?
Well, there was no contact there. So
there will be.
So no. No, Higgs' disputed penalty has already occurred. He rear-ended the Maserati of Bartosiak and doesn't think he deserves a penalty.
Bad news. 15 penalties now.
So we had that appeal, and we also had an appeal in regards to an earlier rejoin by Cole McRae. I don't think that one's actually been fully put to bed yet. Suffice to say, there were a fair number of penalties in this race. Ayrton Tobin in the pit lane before the pit window opens. That's a bad sign for the lead Ginetta driver. Somebody very off the track there. I'm not sure who. It's an Aston Martin, but it's not Mika Watt. Oh, it's Max Simmons. Max Simmons has lost it, and Watt has picked up 2nd place over his teammate. I believe their team. Yes. I remember looking up the teams. I haven't got them in my head yet, but Max and Mika are partnered this season. The super young team, whose combined age is less than 40 years, as Simmons gets bullied by
20.
Okay, not that young. They're in the 20s somewhere combined. Oh, Matt Higgs getting very, very cut off-ish there with Paul Riccobeni. Riccobeni goes wide at Graham Hill Bend. Wesley Stokes and Max Simmons looking for a way past there. Yimbo in the mix, as well as Neil Sutherland. Mark Sutherland has fallen back to 13th place, so the father of the two is sliding down the order. We'll see if he comes back. Run on Higgs here for the McLaren of Stokes, but for now holds his line. This is just letting Mika Watt kind of get away up there in 2nd place, having a very, very good day.
Time to put him in the wall.
Drive-through penalty for Tony Yimbo. That's got to be for track cut. I didn't really see a track cut there, but it does look like he's flirting with it a little bit. I see him going very over the curbs here through. We saw Sheen in particular there. It wouldn't surprise me if he's being caught in the at the track limits there during the, we'll call it the forested section of the track.
Gonna trim down the hedge.
And he's not going to go in this time, probably because Neil Sutherland was to his inside. I don't know about that overtake by Sutherland. I'm just going to say, If a guy in front of me has the drive-through penalty, I kind of want to see if he's going to take it, and that way I don't have to risk anything going for the overtake. Whereas the way Sutherland did that going down the inside, he kind of basically said, you're not taking the drive-through penalty this round, and I'm going to get past you. But now you've got, Yimbo behind you, and this might be poisoned slightly by the fact that Tony Yimbo and I have had some front-to-rear contact at various points. I feel like that's sexual. A dangerous spot to be. It's very car sexual, yes.
You insert joke here. I had something. It's gone now.
That's a shame. I was actually looking forward to that joke.
Can't remember. There was something I've used a few times, and I don't remember what it is now. And I'm just going to waste time and fill air with sounds.
Oh, Matt Higgs off the track.
Again?
And that lets Wes Stokes through. Well, at this point, it could be that Higgs is just driving with damage, because the car does look a little bit unstable as he goes back at it and actually gets the overtake done in Sheen Curb. Paul Riccobeni is very off the track. No, Paul!
Oh, my God.
He got Higgs and also had contact with Max Simmons, and Wesley Stokes says, thank you very much.
Well done, Paul. Well done.
Also, Neil Sutherland says thank you very much, because he's suddenly in 4th place after being in 7th.
Well done, Paul. You got to slap them kids down.
He did. He took out his belt and gave the young ones a slap. Oh, here's an interesting one for you. So, you know how in Super Mega Baseball, Ayrton Tobin's player pulled his groin, right?
I mean, he does it in the dugout constantly.
Apparently, Tobin actually had surgery on his groin around the same time that his player pulled his groin.
Oh, wow.
In the game. Super Mega Baseball tells the future. Pass it on.
Move over, Simpsons.
Jake Keckley up to 6th place due to the carnage ahead of him. John Archie having a slight off-track moment there. That's Bartosiak in behind them. And then Mark Sutherland. A little disappointed the Sutherlands are decided to... They're running a choose-your-own-color livery. You get the livery, the Porsche factory livery, but you can change the colors to your liking. I'm a little disappointed that they're running the exact same color. They have both elected to go with the silver and black combination, which does look very snazzy. But I would have liked a little bit more difference there. William Murr in the pits. Oh god, there is a Porsche there that has definitely seen some better days off the track. There in the black and gold. William Murr in the pits early. It's surprising because we're not terribly far away from the opening of the pit window. About 2.5 minutes. So a bit weird that he is electing to pit now. Unless he had a drive-through of some kind, or it must have been very serious damage. We saw Ayrton Tobin also go in. Well, serious damage can be comedic. Sim racing, we don't have to worry about the drivers dying, so I mean anything can be comedic.
Well, it depends on how good their VR rig is.
Oh, that's true.
Don't cheap out, motherfuckers. Come on.
We ride with the pole sitter, Stuart Bartosiak, who is down in 7th place after lap 1 contact with Matt Higgs. Has been climbing his way back through the field since. That Maserati, probably the hardest car in the field to drive. Not the slowest, but definitely the hardest, the most mistake-prone. It has no electronic aids in the form of ABS, traction control. Everyone else does, so it's a potentially rough time. David Brock in the pit lane. I think he was the Porsche that we saw seriously damaged, so that's not surprising. Bartosiak under pressure from John Archie, while simultaneously pressuring the Camaro of Jake Keckley. And Keckley goes off the track, and that's going to let Bartosiak through. Looks like it'll also let John Archie through in the BMW. A lot of M4s in this series. The BMW, which was not terribly popular last season. Got Archie and Murr. I think there were a couple of others on the registration board, although I do not see them in attendance today.
Is that because they've all been destroyed and had their ashes scattered to the wind?
I hope not. But it may be.
So I had this song stuck in my head for like 3 days, and I desperately trying to track it down, and I finally figured out what it was. And it's probably a song I've heard maybe twice in my entire goddamn life. It's by Winger.
Mm.
It's called 17, and it's kind of a jailbait song.
I've seen it. Well, heard it. I should say.
Like I said, I maybe heard it a couple of times in my life back in the 90s. And for some reason or other, like, just na 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 was stuck in my head, and I couldn't figure it out. Driving me nuts. Like, why did this one swell up from the depths?
I have a similar problem, although in my case, I know why it swelled up from the depths. I'm watching a show I watched way back in the day. It was a one-season show, and then it got canceled, but I found it over on Prime Video, and it's called Attack Mechs. You know me and Mechs. Oh, little contact there with Bartosiak. Goes very wide, and that's going to let John Archie through, as well as Jake Keckley and perhaps Mark Sutherland, who has come back into the top 10. But anyways, so there's a song in there, and it's kind of like a very generic grunge song, frankly. And I'm listening to it, and it got stuck in my head. And I tried to Shazam it through the TV show, and it doesn't know. Shazam does not know what the song is. I'm like, oh no, no.
I asked you to sing it to me, but you can't.
It's not. It doesn't really have like clear lyrics. It's really more of a. It does have lyrics.
Figured out based on melody alone. Well, you don't have that ability.
I do not have that ability.
If you'd find the clip, I could definitely.
I'll see if I get you the clip, and maybe you can assist me if I get desperate enough the next I don't know.
I get that all the time.
Away.
I got a friend who just like, it's a song and it's got this and it's about that and I think it's got a guitar solo. I'm like, oh, it's this Led Zeppelin song or it's whatever. You're looking for this. What was it? The Living Loving Maid, Just a Woman. Like it's two songs in one song. And he couldn't figure it out. He was looking for two different songs, and it turns out they were both the same song.
Interesting.
It was very funny.
We've got a couple of pit stoppers early. Neil Sutherland, Bartosiak, who I really should pick up what the S is to give him a first name, and
Sancho.
Diego Alonso.
Sancho Bartosiak.
I don't know. He was on screen too. His name was there, and I completely just didn't make note of it.
It's probably Sancho. Probably Sancho. I can't come up with another ridiculous S name.
I mean, there's a lot of Polish names that are S that could definitely work. I'm assuming Polish by the Bartosiak last name.
Samsonite.
Well, it could be Samson.
Samsonite. It's funnier. It's from Dumb and Dumber.
Otan and Trevor Chaney in the pit lane. Otan also the guy whose first name we have to figure out, but I feel less bad about that because he's not been on screen. So
there you go.
So we've not had the opportunity to learn his name.
I'm enjoying a delightful Chardonnay this evening.
Good to know. Good to know.
It is J Lohr, Lohr. Would recommend.
I will be coming up with the little fight summaries for the OFC card that I ran while I was at work after this, and those will be posted on Discord. So if you're in the fight Discord / the MioSim Discord, check that out.
And if you're not, do it.
It can be arranged. Cole McRae in the pit lane. Jake Keckley making an overtake of... I think that's Matt Higgs. Interesting.
That's not possible. He's in the wall.
Keckley into the pit lane. Brands Hatch has a bit of an awkward pit lane there with that sharp turn. But he is in. Mark Sutherland running in 6th position. I don't think that's Higgs, but what Porsche is down a lap?
All of them.
I mean, Dave Brock is, but I think Brock is the black and gold Porsche.
Alonso.
I don't think he's down a lap. Alonso's back there, but I don't think he's... It could be Diego Alonso, I guess.
What about Sutherland?
No, Sutherland is this Porsche.
But what if everybody else ahead of him is just so far ahead?
They're not, because he's in 6th place.
Yeah, but I mean, what if every 1 through 5 is already a lap ahead of the whole field?
Paul Riccobeni off the track. Paul, what's going on here, bro?
He's drunk.
What's going on here? Jamie Bayless goes through, but actually ends up losing a spot there to Freddie Avila. Although I think Avila overcooked it into Surtees, and Bayless gets it back. That's 10th place right now, but that is pit stop assisted. Avila, Yimbo, Riccobeni, and Caster. So Byron, do you have anyone's livery you wish to give the blessings of the Reigns of Africa to?
Nope.
As Yimbo has gotten through on Avila as well.
Yeah, they're all kind of, looks like everybody just used way too many colors, or they used only black and white. Doesn't really catch my eye.
How many colors would you like to see?
I mean, 3 max.
3 max. Okay. Well, that's fair. I think looking back at my favorite liveries of all time, I don't think many have more than 3 colors.
Yeah, I mean, 4 maybe if you use like tasteful pinstriping.
Riccobeni in the pits as well. A lot of people in the pits, actually. We got Stokes, Sutherland, Higgs, Hemian, Keckley, Bayless, Riccobeni, Alonso. Murr has been in the pits for what seems like forever, so I think he's just done.
Is it going to be a miracle if he comes out?
Yes. As Bayless actually showing a lot of side damage there, so I imagine this pit stop might be fairly long if they go for the repairs of the bodywork. Neil Sutherland continuing on. Well, actually not continuing on because he's already pitted, actually. He is the top man that has pitted. Bit surprising. Looks like Wesley Stokes has had a rough time maybe in the pits because he's dropped back a fair ways. Still waiting on Wentworth, Watt, Simmons, Archie, Yimbo, Avila. And Tom Waz is yet to serve his mandatory pit stop.
Was Tomiak?
Oh, we have our answer. Stuart Bartosiak. Here we go.
Sturt.
But is he buff Stewart or is he not buff Stewart?
Ooh, hot Stewart or not hot Stewart? I don't know, man. We're gonna have to find out.
Well, he is up to 8th place, so he's doing quite well. Maybe
it's better than your usual Greasy Stewart.
Yeah. I mean, Greasy Stewart would be down in like 22nd place.
How much or less meth, or how much or less working out is going on right now?
Well, the question is, what's going on more? The working out of meth. What Archie and Yimbo are in the pits. So we'll see where we'll see if Bartosiak can overtake any of them. We know he's got speed. Started the race on pole in the Maserati. Had some problems. Has been climbing up since. Jeff Wentworth really needs to get down in the pit lane because he's caught up in traffic now. That's a Camaro ahead of him. I don't know which one.
That's not either. It's a Lamborghini.
A McLaren ahead, so it's a Porsche, McLaren, and a Camaro. Where do we find that combination in the field? I'm not seeing it anywhere. This is not helping me. John Archie out of the pits. And he is battling with one of the Sutherlands, as well as the McLaren of Stokes and Cheney. So there we go. Oh, that was the group that they were chasing, right? Pretty long pit stop time, actually, at Brands Hatch. I would have thought it'd be a lot short. Well, I guess the track is just also very short. This is a 1 minute, probably somewhere around 1 minute 30 to 1 minute 40 lap time. Oh, there we go. Get some help. Yep, I'm right. Sutherland going side by side with John Archie, who's probably still trying to find some heat in the tires. These cars do not have tire warmers, so after the pit stop, everyone is pretty vulnerable on cold tires. Wentworth in the pits, Simmons in the pits, Avila in the pits, so it's just oh no, one of the BMWs in the wall. That's got to be John Archie by process of elimination. So we're only waiting on Tony Yimbo and Tom Waz to make their pit stops. Yimbo, I think, did make a pit stop, and may have botched it. Because I would just think that based on where he was, he'd be leading right now if he hadn't pitted. But maybe he is messed up and is on his way to a penalty for not clearing his mandatory pit stop, which requires you to take tires.
The bad news is everybody's going to get a 500-second penalty for not signaling even once on any of these corners.
Tom was diving at the very end of the pit stop window. That Alpine has not done well today. It's down 2 laps despite having been effectively a pit stop up. Matt Higgs trying to get around Tony Yimbo. It's an interesting situation because he's got to be seeing that Yimbo hasn't pitted yet and that Yimbo is getting a penalty. So effectively, Matt Higgs is like a lap ahead of Yimbo. But in order to attack the top 5 of Bartosiak, Sutherland, Watt, Simmons, and Wentworth, he needs to get through here pretty quickly.
The day it all went Jeffworth.
Has Jeff Wentworth actually won a race in ESR?
Ever.
Or is this his first potential win? I think he was saying something about having never won a race when he was competing for the win at Spa. So I do wonder if this might be his first time.
But has he ever won a race when competing for the lead at Spa and actually racing on a different track entirely? That would explain a lot.
That would be interesting.
Because if you're trying to race this while competing for the lead at Spa, you're not going to win.
No, that's true.
Tony Yimbo, Captain Yimbo. Oh no, that's Bucky over there.
Higgs has gotten through on Yimbo for 6th place. And Wesley Stokes with a brave dive up the inside of Trevor Cheney. That is ninth place for Stokes now. Avila going side by side with Rick Benny. Contact spins them both around. And Mark Sutherland overtaking Matt Higgs. Either that or there's another yellow and white Porsche out there. It's like Higgs might have had another off-track excursion.
And then?
Or that's a lapped car. I don't know what Porsche that would be. Could be Alonso. Can't make out the name and the windshield, though.
I'd like to congratulate Max Simmons on not being the absolute last person into the pits today.
That award goes to Tony Yimbo and Avila, who apparently have not served their pit stop, or Tom Was, who got in with like 10 seconds left in the window.
Or William Murrah, who's just taking the longest pit stop in history.
I suspect William Murrah is actually being a gentleman here. Oh boy!
That looked dramatic.
That was dramatic. It was very dramatic.
Sir, track further to the right.
Somebody blew their braking spot. Still don't know who that Porsche is, but it's the same livery that Matt Higgs is running, but it is clearly not Matt Higgs.
Is it perhaps the big Hig himself?
Richard Higgs, maybe.
I haven't seen Ricardo Higginstein race a race in a while.
I think he's taking a little bit of a break. He's got to give his old bones a little bit of a rest.
You got the osteoporosis.
Either that, or I had heard something about him converting to the iRacing cult. So
disgusting.
That might be where he is.
Everybody, make sure you put into Mio's Patreon to get him an iRacing subscription.
Oh God, no! You don't want that. You'd never see me again. Once I have to pay a subscription for something, I disappear. That's how that works.
Is that why you're all involved with this long-form documentary, Leather Daddy Goes to Prison? What's it? I can't remember. Buns of Manarchy?
Sons of Anarchy, which I did finish, actually.
I don't believe you, but go on.
I basically my thoughts on the series are kind of the same as yours. It's well acted. It's got a fairly compelling overall storyline, but at no point did I care about the main character. Like just at no point. And it's not Charlie Hunnam's fault. Dude played the shit out of that character as Bartosiak goes around the outside of Paddock Hill Bend, and looks like he got the overtake done. It's just that like it's exactly what you said. He does bad things and then he feels conflicted, and it just never ends. It just keeps going.
I love every single actor that's on that show, and I can't be bothered to watch it.
You just gotta
especially want to watch the second season because it's got Henry Rollins.
I think you just gotta watch it, realizing that you are not going to like any of the that all the characters are pieces of shit.
Well, then I can't be fucking bothered. I got other things to do, man.
But they all get their comeuppance, so
they all get shot in the dick in Mexico.
One guy does actually get shot in the dick.
Nice. Is it Kim Coates' character?
It's not Kim Coates' character.
It sounds like a Kim Coates thing.
It's not Kim Coates' character, no. That it would suit him, but no. As Stuart Bartosiak moves into fourth place, overtaking Neil Sutherland. Tony Yimbo battling with Mark Sutherland. Yimbo again did not serve his pit stop properly, it seems, and is now kind of just in damage limitation control. If I were him, I wouldn't really be fighting with anyone, to be honest. Just let them through and do the best laps you can do. Because anytime you're fighting, you're losing more time, and he's already facing a 130-second penalty. He needs to build a 130-second gap to somebody. And that's not going to be Mark Sutherland.
Well, what you got to do here is push that gas pedal down a little hard and then just steer good. All I can think of when Tony Yimbo gets on the screen is Usagi Yojimbo, the samurai rabbit.
Oh, yes.
That's all I can see in my head.
Meantime, Jeff Wentworth way in front. 10.4 seconds. That's Mike Stoppmill-worthy right there, that gap.
It's not too bad.
Mika Watt in third. Bartosiak now in fourth, followed by Sutherland, Higgs, Sutherland, the Porsche crew. Yimbo is eighth place, but facing a large penalty. Keckley, Cheney, Tan, Stokes, Archie, Avila, who's facing the same penalty. Bayless, Hemian, Riccobeni, McRae, Castor, Alonso, Waz, Brock. William Murr is back on track. 13 laps down. Pretty good day for the maxed out racing crew. I think that's what they're calling themselves. Or wait, no, I think it's Maxed Out Mika Sports is the team name. The Max Simmons Mika Watt combo.
But they're not capable of being sporty.
You don't. Oh, drive-through penalty for William Murr. This day just getting worse for
Those boys got athletic as a brick.
Murrah comes out of the pits just to get a DT penalty. That's lovely. David Rock back in the pits as Wesley Stokes overtakes Jake Keckley. Well, maybe not. Might actually be a lapped Camaro. Skylar Castor, maybe? I'm not sure.
That boy got enough athletic, sporty talent as a United States Senator.
Oh, no, it's Trevor Cheney overtook. Never mind. Okay.
Y'all welcome to the chain gang.
That was for position, just not the position I thought it was for. It was for 10th.
You think he's rather stoked to be there?
I don't think he is, because I think he qualified on the second row. I think he was looking for a top 5 here today.
Well, that can still happen.
It can. I mean, technically he's in 9th because Yimbo's going to drop behind him on the penalty. Really just needs something terrible to happen to, like, Matt Higgs and somebody, and Matt Higgs can make that happen.
They almost wall in the round I call Rumble, Young Man, Rumble. Woo!
Otan and Archie also in this this trail. There is Otan. Can we get the camera actually on Otan so we can see his first name? That would be helpful. He is in the blue. He is in the blue and white McLaren 570S. Number 57. I could tell you a lot about him. I just can't tell you the first name.
It's Oliver.
Could be Oliver.
Could be Seymour.
Oh,
it's fine.
Trevor Chaney going wide. That's going to cost him 2 spots as O-Tan and John Archie go through. Archie
Trevor,
side by side with O-Tan.
Trevor,
O-Tan trying to get through.
We're going to have to cut you from the chain gang. I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. And indeed, that is going to be John Archie overtaking O-Tan. So Archie suddenly up to 11th place. We pick up Freddie Avila. Being chased by Jamie Bayless. Again, another car facing a penalty for no pit stop.
Which means you can finish behind him and still beat him.
It kind of puts him in a weird position. Like, do you fight for this position? I think the answer is no. If Bayless gets a good run on him, he lets him through because that's not his fight. His fight is further back because he's facing a large penalty that's probably going to put him down about 19th place. Because he is 2 laps ahead of Alonso. So presumably he's got Alonso, Waz, and Murrah still behind him, even with Pelly Murrah facing the same penalty. 14 laps behind anybody.
And Otani hits a home run from 12th place all the way up to double first.
Heading through Jim Clark curve. We had, of course, a big talk about Jim Clark last time we were at Brands Hatch. And the legacy that he has left.
It's a good band, Jim Clark 5. Oh, sorry, it's Dave Clark 5. My bad.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's Dave Clark 5. Freddie Avila. Newcomer to ESR. Welcome aboard. Has had a bit of a sloppy race here, so hopefully he reins it in and brings it to a more hospitable level of racing. In his Las Moras Racing McLaren.
What kind of molasses?
Las Moras.
The black morass. Mas moras. It's just more of it.
Other newcomers include Stuart Bartosiak. The Sutherlands are newcomers to the series, or to the community as well. Also have O-Tan, as stated by the fact that I still don't know his first name. And I think that's it for newcomers in the field today.
I ain't never heard of this Simmons kid.
Really? I feel like we've heard a lot about Max Simmons.
No, I don't think so.
I feel like a lot.
Seems mysterious.
We know a lot about his sandbagging nature.
Oh. Oh, yeah, by the way, like months and months ago, I had Martin change his nickname to Sandman just to see if you'd notice. And I didn't hear you say anything.
I don't look at his name.
That's fair.
I don't really talk to him all that much.
Me neither anymore. He used to message me, and now not so much.
The only time I talk to him is usually when he's taking a penalty and he's whining about it. I'm like, all right, listen. This is the penalty. This is why you got the penalty. This is how you avoid the penalty.
He must have found somebody prettier than me to move on to, which is fair.
Neil Sutherland under pressure from Matt Higgs. Battle for 5th place. Odd to see Matt Higgs battling for 5th place. He's been on such a roll lately.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Had a bit of a rough outing at Donington Park, which was a race we did not commentate on. That was the intrepid tandem of Cole McRae and Justin Swan. Over on the Twitch channel, as well as uploaded after the fact to YouTube.
What is this about Crail McCoy?
Crail McCoy, I like that. That's solid. We've lost David Brock as well as Ayrton Tobin from the festivities today. Possibly more. I don't know if there was more than 24 cars. And
I only saw 24.
We pick up Trevor Chaney on the tail of O-Tan. Can we get the camera on O-Tan, for the love of God? I want the first name to work with here. He continues to hang on. They're losing a lot of ground to John Archie. So this is a great example of what I was talking about with particularly with Yimbo and with Avila. These two have been fighting real hard. They were right with Wesley Stokes and John Archie and are now 9.5 seconds back of them. And that's what happens when you fight. You're slowing yourselves down. And for these two, totally worthwhile. They're fighting for position. It's great. It's fine. They're pretty well clear of Jamie Bayless. But it was a little bit silly when Avila and Yimbo were fighting so hard for positions that they weren't going to get because they're looking at pit infraction penalties.
And then they go to Yale.
Kinda. They take a 130-second penalty, but it is a bit particularly unimpressive when you take pit window infraction penalties, because that's racing 101, which actually we will have an ESR Racing 101 series coming up. Once 3D Speed is done, I'm gonna have a little bit of free time on my hands. I'm gonna be trying to kind of give a beginner's guide to sim racing, basically, which might help out some
time on my hands.
It might help out some people who are not quite beginners, because frankly there's been some moments where everyone has shown maybe a handful of lackluster performances or lack of intuitiveness of some of the technical regulations within the ESR series. So check out that series. Freddie Avila is in the pit lane.
I got too much grime on my pants.
Matt Higgs has gotten past Neil Sutherland, so he's up into the top 5, probably as high as he's going to go, as he is quite a ways behind Bartosiak, and we're also got the checkered flag out. Wentworth, Simmons across the line. Mika Watt taking himself a podium and a silver win. Then it's going to be Bartosiak and Higgs coming across the line. Cole McRae finishing in 17th place. Is Higgs and Sutherland finished, as well as Skylar Castor in the middle there, down a lap. There are the 130-second penalties coming in for Avila and Murrah. Mark Sutherland in 7th, ahead of Tony Yimbo, who takes the 130-second penalty as well. Jake Keckley a solid top 10 in 9th place. John Archie had an adventurous route to 10th, ahead of Wesley Stokes, getting Stokes in the closing stages. And then it'll be Otan and Trevor Cheney across the line. There we go. Then Jamie Bayless, Cliff Hemian, and Paul Riccobeni.
Good old Rick Paulo Benny. Probably crashed looking at animal memes that I posted in his Discord.
Quite possibly.
In the privates. I don't know if he has his own Discord server. If so, have not been invited.
I'll let you boy. Anyways, Yimbo goes down to 16th place on the penalty, Avila to 20th. So it is Wentworth, Simmons, Watt, Bartosiak, Higgs, Sutherland, Keckley, Archie, Stokes, Otan, Cheney, Bayless, Hemian, Riccobeni, Yimbo, McRae, Castor, Alonso, and Avila. I feel like I can tell you what everyone's livery is except for Diego Alonso. It probably means he's the other GT Mark car, which is the livery Matt Higgs is running. So I suspect that that was the Porsche that was down a lap. Let's go check out Race Wrap to confirm.
And then maybe you can tell me what Otan's name is.
Indeed. Well, it depends what he signed up on Race App is, because some people rudely don't sign up under their racing name on Race App.
Wow.
So we will try and find out, though.
What are we going to do for the next 45 minutes of this video?
Wow, you're right. There is 45 minutes left. Fuck.
We're going to stay tuned for the improvisational talents of me and Mike fucking it all up.
Quite possibly. Well, I'm going to run down the standings, which won't take long because it's literally the results of this race. But we'll have a look. So this was the Rance Hatch Bass. Snetterton Showdown is next up. We're 24 cars. So let's have a look at the booking here real quick. Mr. Otan is signed up as Guy1_C. So I don't think we got an answer on the first name.
Hilarious.
Don't think we get an answer on that.
I bet you
Could
money
be.
it's a chick. I am
Could be.
obviously male, 69_420.
420 blaze it, baby. We were missing some pretty big names. Dominic Turcotte not here today. Brandon Baker not here today. Baker has broken pedals, so I know that is the reason on the matter.
I would like to state for the record, I meant chick in the most respectful way possible.
Most respectful way. Nothing but respect. Antonio Santos was not here. Arthur Bellotti was not here. King_ART was not here. So yeah, Diego Alonso is sporting the GT Marks car. Looks like so Matt Higgs has joined the Carbones team. Interesting. So it's Alonso, Martinez, and Higgs. I see. So that's why they were in the same livery.
I do enjoy some spaghetti carbone.
I'm a little bit disappointed that they formed a team where everyone is in the same livery. That's gonna be a little bit annoying. Like same car, like not even like teammate cars, like same livery. Who else was missing that was pretty big? We're missing Seth Chaney. I guess that's about it. So everyone else was kind of here. You know what the standings are based on the results here because this is the opening round. Steaderton is next up on the calendar. Also, we will have Silverstone as well as Oulton Park, Zolder, and Donington on the calendar. Should be good fun. And Byron, do you have any final thoughts?
Drink more wine.